Yo, what's up, legends? Today we're diving headfirst into Island Mojo Blocks. We're not just playing, we're kicking off a gameplay recording session that'll showcase the core mechanics on the very first and easiest challenge. But don't let easiest fool you. This game packs a punch with 24 thrilling challenges. Each one cranks up the difficulty, constantly throwing new features your way as you progress. Our journey begins with the Summer Breeze Challenge. Get ready, it's going to be a blast. Alright, so when you first jump into the game, it's pretty chill. Nothing's happening right away, which is cool because it gives you some time to just look around the environment. And heads up, this environment's going to be different every single game you start. The real action actually kicks off when you build a road to the hotel and those first tourists finally start rolling onto your island. Pro tip from me, it's actually smart to build the road a little curvy, not a straight shot to the hotel. That gives you a bit more breathing room, more time to react and get those required goods delivered. Oh, and I'm also going to connect that central barn to the road since that's where all our delivery vehicles hang out. Alright, listen up. The second that hotel gets connected to a road, boom, tourists are going to start flooding in, and your main job is to get them home ASAP. But here's the catch. They're not leaving until they've stuffed their faces with some local grub the hotel needs. In this case, it's all about the tomatoes. So what's that mean for us? We gotta get our tomato production rolling and deliver them to that hotel fast. To even start making stuff, you're gonna need citizens, right? Which means you gotta build some homes. Now this next part is super important. Where you build those homes really matters. Every single tile on the map has its own production capacity, and that totally depends on the environment around it. Here's the secret sauce. Citizens who live in spots with lots of trees, flowers, and especially near the beach, they're going to be way more productive. But if you stick them near production buildings or, those swamps, their productivity is going to tank. So, my advice? Tap on every single tile around you and you'll find those sweet spots. Alright, so we've got our first home built, right? But hold up, before we actually send these citizens to work, there's another huge thing. They also need a market super close by. See, citizens follow this pattern. They commute to work and then they commute to the nearest market. That market is miles away, they're just going to be totally unproductive. Trust me on this one. Finally, to get them rolling, we just tap on the home and then we can manage their workplace. In this particular house, we've got 3 citizens and we can actually assign where they work individually or all at once. Oh, and if you don't explicitly pick a market for them, they'll just automatically head to the closest one they can find. When your citizens are doing their thing and working, you'll see this little blue wheel spinning. That's your visual cue that they're making progress, super cool. Now let's talk about getting those delivery vehicles moving. They're all chilling in that central barn, which you can easily spot because it's got a little parking sign on it. Just tap that building and you'll see your vehicle management pop up in the lower left toolbar. I'm gonna pick one of them and send it on a super simple drive. Right over to the greenhouse for those tomatoes. I'm about to deliver my first tomato to the hotel. Here's how we do it. I'm gonna tap on the greenhouse, then select the drone, next tap on the hotel, and finally hit that drive button on the right. Watch this. The drone will automatically swoop in, grab that tomato from the greenhouse, and zip it right over to the hotel. Alright, so once that tomato hits the hotel, a tourist who's been waiting there is going to gobble it up. Then they'll depart the building and finally, peace out from the island. And boom, just like that, you can see the hotel's got 4 free rooms again, ready for some new arrivals. But here's your warning. If a tourist shows up and finds a building that's totally full, it's game over. So keep those rooms ready. Now, quick tip, drones are awesome for super fast deliveries, but they can only carry 5 items. Trucks, on the other hand, yeah, they're stuck on the roads and gotta deal with traffic, but get this, they can load up to 50 items. So you gotta be smart here and pick the right delivery vehicle for the job. Alright, quick explanation for you about the building entrance tile. Every single building has this special yellow tile that shows where its entrance connects to the road. You can actually set this yourself while you're in building mode. This is super important because it's where all your vehicles enter and leave that building. And here's a pro move. Anytime later, you can just tap and hold on the building to change that road entrance to a different road tile. This lets you totally optimize the driving time for your cars and trucks. Super handy. Okay, but seriously, how do we actually make money in this game? Well, one super important way is by exporting local food. So here's the deal. When the ferry rolls up, it's not just bringing in money, it's also dropping off some sweet equipment. Once you've picked up those resources, if you want to send that ferry back out for another round of delivering even more cash, you gotta deliver the goods that are specifically marked as export items. Do that, and the ferry will peace out, and before you know it, it'll be back with a fresh haul of resources. A new production spot just opened up. It's a wheat field. We're definitely bringing that into our production game. But first, we're gonna use the drone to finish up that first export of 3 tomatoes. See, once those export items are delivered, the ferry's gonna take off for a new round of arrivals. And get this, right away, new export items pop up on the harbor building. You gotta deliver those to kick off another round of exports and grab even more resources. Alright, let's fly with the drone to that wheat field. We're doing a new delivery with the truck, but here's the cool part. We're gonna set it to drive in a loop. What that means is, this truck will just keep repeating the same route over and over, constantly automatically picking up and dropping off goods wherever they're needed. Super efficient. Alright, we totally need more citizens if we want to get this wheat production going. So I'm gonna scout out some nearby tiles right now to find a good spot to build more homes. Now, here's the deal. Those swamps are absolutely killing citizen productivity. Seriously, they just tank it. So this time, I'm gonna remove that swamp. You just tap and hold on the swamp tile, then pick that bulldozer icon on the left to clear it right off the map. Just a heads up though, it's gonna cost us a bit. But hey, after we clear that swamp, the home we build there will get way higher productivity. Awesome. And remember, we still gotta think about that local market. If we don't drop down a new one, these citizens are gonna be trekking to the existing market, and that's just too far for good productivity. So yeah, let's build a new market. Alright, things are seriously running smoothly now. That truck is just cruising along in its loop, delivering tomatoes to the hotel, and our new wheat production is humming. Let's just fast forward a bit, shall we? Okay, the ferry's back again, and guess what? We just snagged some awesome new resources for island development. Now, the game advisor is nudging us to build some tourist spots. Let me tell you, these things are a game changer. Tourist spots are a fantastic way to earn money and equipment passively. Seriously, once you build them in the right spot, they'll just start generating income for you to pick up. But it gets even better. If you build them near hotels and campsites, they actually boost your accommodation room capacity. That's huge, because it means your game can last way longer. Alright, I'm setting the drone to deliver goods for export right now. Next up, we're gonna boost that tourist spot income by clearing out the nearby swamp. Get rid of that thing. Alright, collecting money is always a good feeling, am I right? Oh, and check it out. A new production building is available. The mill! This bad boy produces flour, but here's the catch. It needs wheat as a resource. So it's gonna take a bit of reorganizing our delivery vehicles to get that wheat there before we can even think about making flour. We gotta build a road to the mill, then find the best spot to build a new home and assign citizens for production. But honestly, there's no point in starting that production until the wheat actually gets delivered. Gotta get those resources in first. So yeah, we've got the new home built and the new market is all set up. Everything's basically ready for flour production, but the problem is we're missing wheat at the mill. No worries though. I'm setting up a new route for the truck right now. This route's gonna deliver wheat to the mill, but it'll also handle the tomatoes going to the hotel. It's a sweet little loop with 4 destinations, constantly taking care of all our deliveries. Talk about efficient. Alright, quick tip. If you ever want to check the current driving route for a vehicle, just tap on it and boom, the route shows up. If it's a loop, it'll be this cool green color with all the driving points clearly marked. Now to see all your equipment items, just tap on that box button on the left. This stuff's gonna get super important when we start building those community buildings in the next stage, trust me. Okay, big moment. The first wheat has finally hit the mill. That means we're officially starting production with our local citizens there. Awesome. And just a heads up about target quantities. Every building that needs resources can be set with a specific target amount of those items. By default, it's usually 5 items. This means if a building already has 5 items, your delivery vehicle won't bother picking up and delivering more on its route. So, to really nail that resource distribution across the whole island, sometimes we'll need to tweak those target quantities at different buildings. It's all about strategic planning. Alright, back to it. I'm currently working on a new export with the drone. Man, we seriously need more money. This whole island development thing is getting expensive, not gonna lie. That actually reminds me, we gotta build more tourist spots to rake in more cash. This time, we're going for the exchange office. A sweet spot for it is right next to the hotel because it'll boost the hotel's capacity at the same time. Double win. And here's a pro tip. In the building dialog, you can check out all the benefits for each building. Plus, if you tap on that little light bulb icon, you'll get even more info about what that building does and all the cool perks it brings. Super helpful. Alright, check it out. We now have a hotel with a whopping 6 rooms of capacity. That's gonna seriously boost our resilience against tourist overruns, super important. Our export game is strong too. We just sent the ferry off for more money and equipment. Things are looking pretty sweet on our island right now, but remember guys, this is still the easiest challenge. It's all about learning the basics. Even here, trust me, things are gonna get harder to manage real soon. Alright, now that we've got the flour production going, I'm thinking it's a good idea to really pump up that wheat production. 3 citizens working on wheat just isn't cutting it. So we're expanding roads, building a new house, and assigning even more citizens to grow wheat. Good news, the market's close by, so our new citizens will be able to use it smoothly, no problem. Okay, big moment. The game just dropped a new accommodation building for tourists, a campsite. And here's the kicker. Tourists are now going to start visiting the campsite whether we build a road to it or not. If they overrun that campsite, it's game over, folks. So let's build that road and deliver the required goods for the campsite ASAP. Campsite needs flour, which means we gotta rethink our delivery network to meet this new demand. First, we'll build a road straight to the campsite. This road won't be great for flour delivery though, it'll be a long drive. So I'm also gonna build a road coming from the mill's direction which will get that flour their way faster. This is also a perfect time to grab another truck. We're gonna assign this new truck to loop between the wheat fields, the mill, and the campsite because those buildings are all connected. The mill needs wheat and the campsite needs flour. Makes sense, right? Our old truck? It's getting a new mission. Just deliver tomatoes to the hotel in a loop for now. Alright, look what just popped up. It's a cow farm. And get this, it actually uses wheat to make milk. So, standard procedure here, guys. Gotta find the best spots for citizens who'll be assigned to work on the farm and obviously make sure there's a market super close to them. But here's a catch. The closest market tile actually isn't the one we want for this new home to visit, because it'll make them take a longer drive. So here, we're gonna explicitly set the market for these new citizens because trust me, this way they'll be way more productive. Now, I gotta tweak the delivery route again to get some wheat over to the farm too. This is where those target quantities become super handy, because they'll help me figure out how to share the wheat between the mill and the farm.